In close up today, a plan to light up the Empire State Building in honor of China's 60th anniversary is causing controversy. This is not the first time the New York landmark has changed its colorful lights to commemorate or honor a particular holiday or day. Earlier this month, the building was red, white, and blue in memory of September 11th. Tonight, the colors will be red and yellow. And critics of China's communist government are not amused by that. They point out that the U.S. State Department has said that China's human rights record remains poor and has even gotten worse on some issues. Joining us from Capitol Hill is New York Congressman Anthony Weiner. Thank you, Congressman, for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
I understand you are against this idea. Why?
Well, you know, it's an iconic marker in New York life. You know, when the Empire State Building lights up for September 11th or the St. Patrick's Day Parade, it's kind of a hat tip from the people of New York to a cause or to a people. I'm not sure it was meant to be used for a country that has the values and record that the Chinese do, and I frankly think it wasn't carefully thought through. And I think it's not the kind of thing that we should be doing. You know, it's a special occasion when the Empire State Building lights up in a certain way, and I think that while we don't ignore history and we have many Chinese Americans in New York, I think paying tribute to the anniversary of that regime probably is something we'd want to do.
Well, it's interesting because you have some right now. We're talking about Iran and the talks that will take place tomorrow, and a part of perhaps the solution and how to deal with Iran is China and them supporting the United States if sanctions are there. They are allies in some cases, but some might say, but they're not worthy of being honored, I guess, on the Empire State Building?
Yeah, I guess that's more or less the way I look at it. Look, Iran's a perfect example. One of the reasons Iran is a nuclear power right now is the support they've gotten from China. There are more people in Chinese jails being held for being political dissidents than any other country on earth. I guess what the difference is I'm fine having debate, discussion, diplomatic relations. I just think that this is such an important kind of iconic thing that we do that has never gotten into this level of controversy. I mean, some of the things they've had recently is honoring the Wizard of Oz with colors of the ruby red shoes. I don't think that paying tribute to the Chinese government is something that this should be used for.
Congressman, a building spokeswoman, Marissa Picker, has given us a statement. She says the Empire State Building celebrates many cultures and causes in the world community with iconic lightings. A full listing of all lightings is available on our website. Do you have any intention of looking at our website or talking to Ms. Picker to find out exactly who made this decision and why?
Well, first of all, the website does not list everyone. It's only the last couple of months. But I would say this: I did speak to the head of the company that essentially runs the building and owns it, and I've made my position clear. You know, they say we take all comers and we make some decisions. They did point out that they changed the lighting to not be all red, which is what the Chinese government wanted. But I think that we have to decide a little bit about what this symbol means. Look, we're not doing international diplomacy here. That's true. But one thing we are trying to do is say this now, the tallest building in New York, is going to be lit up in honor of certain things. I'm not sure we want to honor the Chinese. I think we want to ask them to change. We want to ask them to be better allies and to respect the rights of their people.
Let me ask you this, Congressman. Republican strategist Doug Heye, he's often a guest on our show. He blogged about this, and he wrote in part, you almost have to hand it to the Chinese government. As the country opened up economically, it learned enough about Western capitalism to know that anything has a price. And apparently that includes honoring a regime responsible for the murder of millions upon millions of people. Is this about money?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what kind of financial transaction there was for this thing, but I do know that, you know, one of the cottage games that people play in New York is trying to figure out why the Empire State Building is a certain color on a certain day. I don't think that when people gaze upon it, when tourists visit and they look up and say, oh, it's because the Chinese did something good. They didn't do anything good. What they essentially are managing to do is, as that commentator said, they figured out a way to get attention in perhaps the icon of free speech. They were able to get attention for being anything but that.
All right. Thank you very much, Congressman Anthony Weiner. It's always a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you.
My pleasure.